Boo. My last relationship broke me. We never dated.
Let's talk about that.
Before the video starts, I just want to thank y'all really quick, and let me go ahead and just show you what I mean. All my videos have done pretty well, especially the My Best Friend of 10 Years Tried to Cook Me. That's at 404 views. Thank y'all so much. Coming into my shorts, I gained and mind you, I started off at like 1 subscriber, and that was me being my own subscriber, so really zero. I have 38 subscribers now, which is just kind of insane to me. Like, that's what I've grown organically. I remember when I had my old channel that I would upload on, I used to subscribe bot on it. For some reason, if we look at my popular views, this one got it's at 14K views. Wow, that's actually insane. None of my shorts, they're all really, I would think I try not to upload anything that's really shit. Some are better than the others, but I really try hard on all these shorts. Some of these are obviously just clips, and they aren't that good, but the ones that I actually, like for example, this one I think is really good. This one's really funny. They're both really funny. Some clips are really wholesome or like actually have content to them. Sometimes they're just edits. But this one I didn't even think was that good, and it got 14K views, which is just insane. And looking at my TikTok, some of them I used promotion for the Doug Doug challenge, but other than that, you could see the progress where I was getting less than 100 views, and then all of a sudden I got more than 200, and I got more than 300, and then some of these are more than 500, and then even the ones that are not breaking 400, they have more likes. TikTok, I'm getting followers, but Instagram is probably the only one where I'm not getting any following, but I'm getting the most dedicated viewage. This one got 4,000 views on Instagram, which is just insane though. I'm super grateful for that. 3,000, 2,000. And then the rest kind of fell off, but still I'm getting noticed and I'm getting recognized. Again, I just want to say thank y'all so much for y'all support. I genuinely really appreciate it all. I could not do this without you guys, and I can definitely not do this without my friends supporting me. I didn't even know I wanted to do content creation, but then I just started making videos. And as you can see right here, I have the first video that I ever did, turning 22, and have accomplished nothing. Been trying to educate y'all and show y'all that change is good. Change comes when we least expect it, but inevitably there's a reason for it, and it is always good for us when there is change. I mean, not all change sometimes is good, of course. The best kind of change comes from us when we're given the courage to do it ourselves, or when things happen to us, or we feel like we can finally accomplish something. But through these story times, at the very least, if I'm at least changing one person's trajectory, that's a big word, I'm doing something right. Through that, I do feel like I've accomplished something, even if that means just changing at least one of y'all's mindset or the way you're acting or the way of life you're heading towards. That's all that matters to me. Let's get on with the video. Let me not start with my hands on my pocket. Y'all fuck with the dramatic lighting. Nah, but in all seriousness, I figured it would be fitting. I changed the environment up here and there. Let me finish this the way I started it. I started it right here in my room, and I guess I wanted it to be a little full circle moment. Just because I'm running out of time does not mean it's the end of the world. But I will tell y'all right now a story where I did feel like the world was ending. It genuinely changed me and put me in the worst period of my lifetime where I was super unhappy, and it completely wrecked me as a person, as a human being. And I don't know if this person, who will be calling apple juice for the remainder of the time, quite understood what she truly put me through. She can say her sorries, she can say she didn't mean for things to go the way they did, but at the end of the day, nothing can really recuperate the damage that she did to me, especially here. But that being said, whenever I make these videos, I try to be as authentic as I can with y'all, but for this one, I felt I needed to write a bit of a script. So here are my notes. On this phone, I have a bit of guided notes of what we're about to talk about, but at some point, I will just be reading it off because there's so much that I tried to remember and put down. I didn't know if I just spoke to y'all in a normal conversation dialect, like if you guys are right there across from me. I don't think it would have really emphasized the gravity of the situation that I was in. If you guys remember the video My Best Friend of 10 Years Tried to Cook Me, I mentioned how my ex Apple Juice was involved with all of that, and there's been more of the story. This is all, and all the stories that I've been telling have been leading to this moment right now. It was always to give context of how I've changed as an individual, why I am the way I am, how I've come out a better person out of all these situations, or at least a decent person, and how Apple Juice just did not seem to understand who I was, and she never really did, and I don't think she ever really will. So how I met Apple Juice. We shared a intro to drama class in 2023, or I believe that was a class. You know, I just transferred into this school, fall 2023. And as soon as she walked through the door, I would argue I was head over heels for her. She was beautiful, exactly my type, and I just had to talk to her, and I would hold the door open for everyone, and she was the only one that would say thank you to me. She was super sweet to me, even though she didn't know me. And it's hard to believe at times that that's the same person I would go on to deal with what we were together for like maybe a year, less than a year, our situationship, if you will. When I approached her and I asked for her Instagram, we went to the gym, and I remember going into her car one day and asking if she was looking for anything, and she told me she wasn't, so I backed off. But at that point, she started using me for homework, and I just blindly went along with it because I had a crush on her, and she would still act as my friend, and we'd go on friend dates, which would obviously hurt me inside. I had a crush on her so bad that I would ignore her, so she would come and ask for my attention. But yeah, I was really into this girl, y'all. And in spring 2024, the next semester, she asked to see me. She asked to hang out. So we started hanging out in the library or the student center that we were at a lot more often. I started writing poetry. I would write poetry for her. I'll see if I can find a poetry example, and I'll flash it on screen, and you guys can pause if you want to look at it, what I would write for her. I asked her out on a date, and she said she was interested. I didn't really, actually ask her out on a date. I just asked her, hey, do you want to, are you interested in me? And do you maybe want to, hang out outside of school? I never really asked her out on a date, to be honest. This is where I'm going to start just reading off the script. I was really insecure, needed a lot of reassurance because she was a 10 out of 10. The first red flag this wasn't going to go anywhere was when I went over to her house and we made out, and she told me afterwards we could have done more. I wanted to wait until we were official. Next time I saw her, I felt I had to satisfy her needs or she was going to leave me. I didn't even orgasm because I felt no intimate connection. And it wasn't until the third time we were intimate with each other that I finally did. She was very high maintenance and I had to pay for everything. She didn't like the way I dressed or the way my hair was, so I tried my best to change for her. I was very sensitive and I went along with everything she wanted because I didn't want her to get mad or feel like leaving me. I will say I was clingy and immediately love-bombed her on our first real official date at a nice restaurant. But it got to a point in our relationship where it felt very lustful, especially since we weren't officially together. There were also times where I'd be driving my car and she'd start groping my crotch area like she wanted to give me a roadhead. But I'd brush off her hand because I wasn't comfortable with doing something so risky. She was an avoidant, and when I tried to communicate my feelings to her, she just shut down. It felt like she was forcing herself to be with me to not hurt my feelings, and by the time we got to summer 2024, she admitted she did not like me as much as I liked her, and I started to cry. I could not stop. Her response to me crying was that she was sorry and also horny, and she wanted to have sex. And I folded. I felt that was the only way I could receive affection from her. A couple weeks later, she ended things with me, stating she still wanted to be friends. Classic trope of keeping me around just in case. A month later, after some time apart, and now fall 2024, I had rebounded by going on some other dates with other girls. She found out and was jealous. So we started hanging out again by going to the movies, and we made out. So we were okay-ish for a couple of months. Next time we did something sexual, however, it was only about pleasing her. And I felt sad she didn't want to satisfy me, and it made me feel guilty for expecting that out of her. She said I looked desperate, even though I just wanted some physical touch. I attempted to try again, but she'd always find a way for us not to. That includes even kissing sometimes. And when I brought this to her attention while I dropped her off food one time, and I just wanted to go inside and cuddle with her, she said no. It hurt my feelings because cuddling was the bare minimum at this point, so I cried and she yelled at me, making it seem like we couldn't do anything because she now lives with her sister. And I told her I'm not even talking about sex, I'm talking about being able to hold you. But then I also mentioned how we still aren't even together, and I feel like I'm wasting my time. She gave me a hug and said bye. Literally just that. And I felt like we still hadn't talked about anything. It always felt like it was on her timing whenever she wanted something to happen. Whenever she wanted it was all that mattered. She put me down in front of my friends and in front of strangers too. I'd want to give her a hug in public and she acted like I had the plague and would only give me a side hug. PDA was a big deal to her. I feel showing affection to your partner with a small hug wouldn't kill her. December 2024, she got mad at me for not voting in the election. I tried to explain I did not agree with either side and I was dealing with a lot more personal stuff as I just started attending therapy. I didn't know it, but our relationship was starting to cause lack of dopamine chemicals in my brain. She permanently had me on do not disturb mode and did not talk to me for the rest of the day and just did not understand I was fighting demons. And when I say permanently had me on do not disturb mode, I mean like it wasn't just that day, it was for the rest of our relationship. So I never knew if she was getting my messages or she was going to see them, and I started to fear maybe she was seeing someone else at this time. By the beginning of 2025, we were still not together and I felt I was just being strung along, and it was made clear when I tried to give her a kiss goodbye, she only would let me give her a peck on the cheek. So I wanted to just officially end things. So the next day I texted her saying I don't understand anymore and explained everything I was feeling. And I just want us to be a thing. And she explained. She told me countless times she didn't see me the same way, and that us having sex was wrong, even though she initiated it, most of the time anyway, and actually was the one who brought sex into our relationship. And then when I responded, she ghosted me. Spring 2025, I saw her on campus and I immediately missed her. This is on me. I drove down an hour to see her and gave her a note because I wanted her back. Little did I know she moved on super fast and at this point had already seen 2 other guys. As mentioned in my best friend of 10 years tried to cuck me video, I did confront her eventually. I asked why she did not like me. My ex fed into toxic masculinity and said I was not masculine enough for her and that I did not bring feminine energy out of her. That me crying and being sensitive and communicating and talking about my feelings made her like me less. There was also the overthinking, which she did not bother to ever reassure me. While she was driving home, the conversation got toxic and I said I did not like her. I think she thought I meant as a person, but I meant in a romantic manner. She started to swerve the car around, putting both of our lives in danger. She snapped. For whatever reason, she decided to unblock me even after our rough conversation. Mind you, she only did that because I wanted us to be on good terms. And it worked because she called me to let me know about my friend trying to backstab me with getting with her. In December 2025, she called me again and let me know the person she was seeing wronged her and they did not work out and that she was sorry about everything that went down with us. I immediately folded and forgave her because I thought we were going to try again, and I even saw a movie with her like an idiot. Like mother, like son, I guess, if you know from the last video. But at least this time I quickly realized she was just lonely, she needed emotional validation, and I was good company. So I told her off and said thank you for everything. I learned a lot from you, and went full no contact by blocking her on everything. I went live on Twitch the next day, and she had the audacity to tune in and say something after I told her I wanted nothing to do with her. Luckily, my mod banned her immediately, and that was the last I heard of her. At some point in 2025, I did say she was going to stay behind in 2025 for good, and I meant that shit. Last I heard about her, in correlation to anything, I heard about her through my friend when I did the I used to be a middle school bully video. He told me that when he's seen her around campus, he's seen her with a different dude like each time. For the record, apple juice and Thai tea, and for various academic reasons, are the reason why I left school and now have started pursuing content creation. I believe that Apple Juice is a terrible person. She's entitled and a lot of other guys enable her. She told me she was seeing this guy that she didn't actually want anything with, and I told her please don't lead him on, and I hope she did the right thing. But she doesn't have me to be her peon anymore, so I wouldn't be surprised if she's taking advantage of someone else now. And that's just the reality we are living in now, and I'm sure a lot of other guys and girls are living in right now. That being said, guys, I really hope you guys take this story, choose not to be like her, and especially choose not to be like me. Do not be that guy simping for a girl constantly, and if you're a girl, don't be that guy constantly chasing after a guy. If you guys are not together within the first 3 months of talking, it's probably going to be very hard for you guys to ever exit that situation talking stage, and you're left feeling I have to be with her, I have to make this work, because otherwise you don't know whether it is going to. You don't want to be that person chasing this boy or girl. You don't want to enter a situationship. They rarely work. Look at the signs, look at the red flags, learn from my situation, apply them to yours, and run away as far as possible if you are in my situation, because I assure you, it does not end well. It's arguably worse than a breakup. You don't want to get stuck in that cycle where you think you guys are gonna get somewhere, and you've already been intimate with this person, and next thing you know, you're just stuck with them. That damn hope that you might have a chance, that false hope you might have a chance to eventually get with them. If you're watching this, every fiber in my being wants to say fuck you. But honestly, I just genuinely hope someday you look in the mirror and ask yourself, would God be proud of me? Are the choices I'm making going to get me into heaven? For the record, he and I used to go to church together, and that was probably the only time where I saw a semblance of a real person with real feelings and a real heart. If the questions have an answer of no, I genuinely do hope you realize it's not too late to change. Anyways, guys, that's the story. That's all that happened, and that's what we've been building up to. That's gonna be it for this video. Remember, guys, it's never too late to change. If you're the apple juice in this situation, it's not too late to change. You don't have to be that girl. Unironically, do not date if you feel like you're going to lead a guy on. And boys, and I'm saying girls because that's how I am in the situation. The same thing goes for boys. If you think you're gonna lead a girl on, don't date. There's no point. Yes, I get it. You might be bored, but there are plenty of other things to do. Trust me. And guys or girls in my position, just know there's someone out there for you. We just haven't found them yet, but they are out there, and we deserve so much better than to be led on and just mistreated the entire time and be taken advantage of. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much to all my supporters. Please go ahead and make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this kind of content. Next video, we're gonna have something completely different. Story times we're gonna take a break from for a little bit. Thank you so much for the people that tune in to the Doug Challenge that happened on April 11th on my Twitch. You guys mean the world to me. I love you guys all. If you guys ever need anything, go ahead and comment. My socials are also in the description. Go ahead and follow those. You can text me. I'll try to reach out to y'all as best as I can. Just know you guys are loved and that it's never too late to change. There's a reason why humans are imperfect, and it allows room for us to eventually be redeemed. And that includes the ex I never really actually was together with. And I only say we were together, it was always just easier to explain it that way. And the pain that she caused me was worse than the 3-year relationship breakup that I had. Maybe that will speak volumes for y'all. I'm gonna end the video here, guys. It's been Lander the Pander. Peace out, guys.